Here are what I think are the top 20 best movies of the year that I've seen. At number 20, Saltburn. It's about a man who gets invited to his classmate's mansion for the summer. I think we can all agree we weren't the same after watching this movie. If I could describe this movie in one word, it would be filthy. Not only did I think this movie was creative with great performances, but it was also beautifully shot. At number 19, Dungeons & Dragons: Honor Among Thieves. This may or may not have flew under the radar for most. I haven't met many people who have seen this movie, but the people who did were surprised along with me. This is a hilarious movie that's co-written and directed by John Francis Daley, who actually makes some really funny movies. This was an incredible film with great action scenes, and I love the use of practical effects. At number 18, Bottoms. It's a female fight club, but in high school. Another hilarious and incredibly fun film. I thought Io Adebari and Rachel Sennett had great chemistry, and I don't think this movie wouldn't have worked so well without its amazing cast. At number 17, Blackberry. Based on the true story of the rise and fall of Blackberry. The acting was outstanding and hilarious. It had such an engaging story. At number 16, When Evil Lurks. I personally think this is the best horror film of the year, and it definitely holds the place for the most disturbing. It's an Argentinian film with a brilliantly insane story. At number 15, They Clone Tyrone. It's about a man who finds out he is being cloned. I thought it had an excellent script, and the dialogue felt so believable for me. I think this is John Boyega's best performance. This was a hilarious sci-fi mystery. At number 14, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Mutant Mayhem. This movie really surprised me. It had an incredible story. I should have assumed because this is coming from Seth Rogen, who worked on The Boys, Gen V, Joyride, and Invincible. And that's just his recent stuff, but this had what felt like believable and modern teenagers. I also really enjoyed the pop culture references. This was a very funny film. At number 13, Barbie. This was such a fun film that's satirical while also talking about serious issues, while also being what I think is a comfort film. Greta Gerwig was the perfect person to direct this. At number 12, Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret. This is a phenomenal book adaptation that deals with friendship, adolescence, and religion. This had a genuine story, characters, and a great soundtrack. At number 11, American Fiction. It's about a writer who can't get anything published because his books aren't black enough. So he writes the most ghetto, outlandish book, and it becomes a bestseller. Like the movies They Clone Tyrone and Barbie, this film had a lot to say. This is Cord Jefferson's directorial debut, and he did a phenomenal job. This movie was absolutely hilarious. At number 10, The Iron Claw. Based on the insanely tragic true story of the Von Erich brothers, I thought this had such a depressing tale of a curse that's haunted this family, and the performances felt very genuine to me. At number 9, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Aside from the great performances, amazing visuals, spectacular villain, and incredible soundtrack, I thought this had a phenomenal story of letting go and had a beautiful send-off. At number 8, John Wick Chapter 4. I think this is the best action film of the year. I thought this had breathtaking stunts, a great cast, and outstanding cinematography. Like Guardians, this had a fantastic final chapter. At number 7, Killers of the Flower Moon. Based on the devastatingly true story of how members of the Osage Nation were taken out one by one because of oil and greed. Directed by Martin Scorsese, Lily Gladstone did an immaculate performance, along with Robert De Niro, who played a perfect sociopath. And of course, Leonardo DiCaprio. This had a captivating story with a marvelous cast. At number 6, we have Past Lives. It's about a woman who reunites with her childhood crush after decades of not seeing each other. But now she is married to another man. This movie hit hard for me. This was a unpredictably genuine story. This has to be the most realistic movie to come out this year. At number 5, The Holdovers. This was such an incredibly heartfelt Christmas movie about a man who's stuck at his prep school on Christmas break with the strictest teacher at his school. The performances were spectacular from the three main characters. This was a beautifully written, wholesome, and heartwarming story. At number 4, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. This had a phenomenally well-crafted and visually stunning story with lovable characters and a fantastic soundtrack I've grown to love, along with a misunderstood villain, a great character arc, and one of the best cliffhangers I've ever seen. At number 3, Poor Things. I definitely think it's the weirdest movie of the year, and it's one of the most genuinely authentic movies I've ever watched. It's a Frankenstein-type story, and I never use this word, but I found it very bewitching with its dreamlike world. I found it hilarious, and I think it had the best performance I've seen from Emma Stone. At number 2, Oppenheimer. Based on the true story about the man behind the first nuclear explosion. If I had to pick a film this year that best describes cinema at its finest, it would be this movie. This was an incredible theater experience, with a star-studded cast, captivating cinematography and music score, and such a thought-provoking story. And at number 1, Godzilla Minus One. I thought this had the best story of the year, with incredible performances, characters, character arc, and music. I think it's absolutely rare to truly care about characters in a film like this, and it's possibly the best Japanese film I will ever watch.